All right, now we are live. We are live now on the Circle of the One Sacred Open Mic. Here we are on this sacred day in 2023, a 7-year on the 7th month. We just launched our book and went international bestseller as 33 authors for Circle of the One. Thank you so much, Lisa. I already see comments streaming in. If you're watching, please drop a comment and I'll put it up on the screen. We'll be starting shortly as we allow people to arrive in divine time. We'll be actually starting this set soon. And I am Do Renee. I am one of the co-authors of the Sacred Circle of the One. I'll be starting us off with a very short meditation and excitement generation activity, and my share will be moving on to other authors like Michelle Osborne, Tradon Inspires, John Corbellini, Jamal, Robin, Hillary, Brandy, Lisa, and Maverick, and potentially many more. So very excited as we co-create today. And we are live now on many platforms, including our Circle of the One Facebook page, the Author Catalyst Academy YouTube page, many other pages. Even some of the authors on today are streaming to their pages. So we are just literally rippling out into many, many spaces and places. So I feel that we have a awesome group. I'm going to go ahead and thank you, Lisa, for tagging all those amazing people in the comments. These are names of people, sacred names of real people. I like to say everyday people who are choosing to be extraordinary heroes. We've got Tradon, Michelle, Robin, and many more who will be joining us. So we'll go ahead and get started now. This is our Circle of the One Author Open Mic. And I'm going to go ahead and bring on the people who are on the backstage right now just to say hi and bring the energy in before I open up the space with some activities and my share and go into our set today. So again, the intention today is to share our unprecedented creativity, our vulnerable real stories, learnings, and teachings, as well as to invite you to jump right in with us to even purchase Circle of the One on Amazon. It's live now. You can just look up Circle of the One Dolly on Amazon. That's how I find it. She is our amazing visionary, Dolly Alessandra, who came up with this idea and brought us all together to bring it to manifest, of us telling our stories, invoking our avatar and God, goddess selves to heal and grow together as a collective. So I'm really excited to go ahead. If you are on the backstage now for StreamYard, I'm going to go ahead and just bring you on to bring in the energy. So we've got Robin and John, Tradon, Lisa, and Hillary. I'm going to go ahead and actually stop that screen share for now. And if you are on, feel free to say hi. Hey, Tradon. Hey, Hillary. Robin, Lisa. Oh, let me unmute people. I think I muted some people and they couldn't talk, and now you can. Perfect. Feel free to say hi and bring your voice in.
Hello, hello.
Welcome.
Welcome to this space.
Yes. I love it. Yes, let's bring the energy of fun, joy, play, and ease. Celebration, of course, that we're international bestsellers across many countries. Woo, yeah, celebrate.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Let's
so
get it. We did it, y'all. We did it.
We did. Yes, we did.
So we're going to go ahead and start now. I'm going to have, if you would like to, those of you who are authors here on the screen with me now, to stay in this space, feel free to do so. Of course, anytime, just like when we always meet up for meditations often, feel free to come off and on your video or mic. We're going to start and drop in and ripple out to the collective. Our amazing selves, our mindfulness, our heartfulness now as we have intentionality lead the way today. So I invite us now, if you're listening now or in the future, to soften or close the eyes, as we start off this sacred space with meditation and connection. Noticing and witnessing the sacred breath going in and out. We are exactly where we need to be. These words keep coming to me. So let us honor and invite that truth, honor and invite that knowing as we just take more sacred deep breaths in and out. And today we are being the change we wish to see. As you listen to these words, continue to breathe in meditative state. We are being the change we wish to see, bringing our unprecedented creativity to our fellow humanity family and cosmic family. Being the change we wish to see, sharing our stories that may be a little scary, you see, and it is so courageous. So let us breathe in that truth as we choose to step into an eternal youth, eternal empowerment, as we share our stories, wisdoms, and truths today. I invite you to visualize with me now any feelings, words, or affirmations and the physical version of that. So, for example, me visualizing creativity as a word. I am seeing paint being splashed on a canvas, a blank canvas being splashed with paint. Perhaps your words or intentions that you've been focusing on now lately have been trust, perhaps seeing two hands coming together, holding each other. So I invite you now to just let your powerful intuition and superpowers come through now. Even if this concept is new to you, I invite you to just trust it is not new and that you have this power within you to see the words come alive. So I'll just throw out some words that are present for me, and I'm also inviting authors who are on screen with me now to also share any words: tranquility, equality, love, peace.
Prosperity, truth, and honor.
Beingness and joy.
Wisdom, unity, peace.
Hope and rebirth.
If those of you who are listening now or in the future, I invite you to add to the collective stream some words in the chats that we can put on the screen, into the comments. These words of understanding, forgiveness. Let us know that we are calling all these words in our book that we're sharing about today, and just in who we are. So as we close up this sacred meditation, I invite you to touch and feel your sacred embodiment or body wherever you're being called to, even coming around if you're called to for a self-love hug, or that victorious symbol posture that Tradon is invoking now, V for victorious. Sigh, smile as we come out. Ooh, Marlene says miracles. Yes, thank you, Marlene. Marlene's invoking miracles. Thank you. I love Marlene. I know it's Lisa. She's a friend of yours. She and I have connected recently too. Marlene, miracles. Yes, I love the phrase. We are in the age of miracles, golden age of miracles. Yes. Let us call that in, even with all the challenging energies at this time. That is simply what is coming up as we create that. Yes, miracles, Lisa. Wonderful. As we are coming now into a more conscious space in this after that sacred meditation, I am going to start us right off. And what I'll do is go ahead and share my screen again. So I'll go ahead and have our authors come on screen just for now as I begin the process to share this book. So I'm actually going to show you a little preview, but as our sacred co-author Yashika says, I'm not going to give it all away because I'm really inviting you to go ahead and actually get the book yourself. And really, it's such an amazing book. I'm working my way through reading all of it. personally. And I've just been having such a transformational experience in doing that. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now and do that. And I will be sharing a little bit of an excerpt from my book. Actually, before I do that, I'm called to share a little bit more of who I am. I'm Do Renee. My full integrated name is Maral Do Renee Jones. And as I'm doing that, hello, Shantae. Thank you for being here. We'll hope to have you on later too. She's a co-author, Shantae Chandler. And I am here in Pueblo, Colorado, a sacred, beautiful energy vortex of our sacred Mother Earth. And I am the director of the Pueblo Heritage Museum. I'm the co-creator of Author Catalyst Academy and co-author of Circle of the One, which again is an amazing book that was created by visionary Dolly Alessandra. And so that's a little about me. I have two amazing young leaders, Leonidas and Zelda Jones, and my husband, Garrett Jones. I love our name, Jones, that I officially recently took on along with my son last year, which means gift from God. And so I'm so grateful for that. And Lisa has actually so perfectly, who's helping me out today behind the scenes, put my chapter name right there. Do Renee is my creative name, meaning doe, like the deer, a female deer, gentleness, compassion. It also is what my first given name, Meral or Meral in Turkish means, female deer, and Renee meaning rebirth. And so with that, I'm so excited to share this story of who I am and really the challenges that I chose to take on in this life, specifically with suicide and forgiveness through that. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my entire screen here. Go. We were just reading before this in our author connection space a chapter by Garrett Goggins, who you'll see in this art that I had up on the screen a moment ago. And you'll see in this version that you can actually scroll through all the chapters. And just looking at these chapter titles, you can see Unleash Your Soul, Life is Inside a Game, my chapter, The Gravity of Grief, Lisa's, A Love Letter to My Daughter, The Chosen One, The Spirit of Identity, so many amazing chapter titles. And so I'm chapter 11. I actually was given the gift of choosing that number intentionally because 11 is very meaningful for someone who I mention in this book quite a bit, my first husband who did die by suicide on September 6, 2020. And, just really am so empowered to be here. So in honor of sharing just a brief excerpt, I'm going to just read the very beginning. So you'll see here some art that Troy Chadwick, myself, and Tradon Inspires helped to make, invoking the superpower of grief, which I really truly believe is a superpower. And so you'll see there's a red cardinal, which if you read my whole story, you'll see why that red cardinal is there. It's also associated with communication with our loved ones after death. So chapter 11, The Gravity of Grief, by myself, Do Renee. I jolted up in bed. I had just woken up from a jarring dream. I turned to my right to see that Clint was still lying next to me, and he was okay. The dream was just exposing my greatest fear. He would never do that to himself. He has told me he would never do that, I thought, as I reassured myself shakily. A couple of years later, in the women's restroom of a marina in Puerto Vallarta, my friend hands me concealer as she lovingly puts her hand on my back. I breathe through tears while trying to hold the rest of them back. We both look at my reflection together as I take a concealer pad to my black eye. In a moment that transcended time, the eyes of my future self found my reflection in the mirror, and she seemed to say telepathically, "What are you doing? Why are you pretending nothing happened last night? When will you finally stop allowing this?" September 6, 2019. With my 6-month-old son, Leo, in my arms, I show up at my parents' house and ask to move back in. I tell them, I finally found the courage. So that was my share. Thank you all so much. I'd love to hear your comments so far in the chat on anything you already got from that. I stopped myself early intentionally because you've got to go read the book to get more. And we're going to go ahead and move right on. I think that we have the beautiful Michelle Osborne already on with us.
Hello.
Aloha. Thanks for
Hello.
being here.
You're welcome.
And yeah, so we're going to start right on. We're actually early on Divine Time, which is amazing. I am so grateful to introduce Michelle Osborne. I'm going to let her introduce herself, and I'm going to pull myself off the screen. So the floor is all yours, Michelle.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I had the privilege of being one of the authors in the Circle of the One anthology, Volume 1. And I was the goddess of infinity. I am the goddess of infinity. And the reason I chose her is purely because, you know, what we go through, and my chapter in the book is called The Chosen One. And what we go through when we realize that what we go through in life is a privilege, it's a blessing for us, and that there is infinite possibilities. There's infinite possibilities for us, and sometimes those adversities, sometimes those seeds of resilience are what lead us there. And so if we would just see that there is the infinite intelligence in everything we do, who we are, everything around us, we would see that there is nothing to be worried about. We are all the chosen one, and we all can make whatever we want with our lives and our potential, because it's infinite. And so I'd like to read, as I look at my phone to read you a piece of my chapter. It says 444. Of course it does. Of course it does. So I want to read you just an excerpt from my chapter. It says, as many of us are taught growing up, relationships are about compromise, about sacrifice, and not always about getting what you want. However, sometimes we compromise who we are for the sake of others. We completely lose our authenticity and who we really are, or who we think we are. At that moment, I realized I had done exactly that. I had spent my entire life trying to please everyone else and never pleasing myself at my core. At that moment, I knew I was free. Love does not hurt. Love does not abandon. Love does not criticize. And love does not judge. Love is independent. Love is co-creation at its finest. Love is respect. Love is being authentic and true to yourself without jeopardizing anyone else's feelings. Love is freeing. And in that moment, I decided to love me. And so, you know, what I would suggest to you is that you do the same, that you be true to yourself and true to who it is that you want to be. We are all given the infinite abilities, the infinite opportunities, and the infinite adversities. Because on the other side of that is where the true beauty lies. And this is the quickest way for us to get there. And so if you would just realize that you too can be the chosen one, then I will have done my job in at least getting this message out to you, in hopes that anytime you're experiencing a situation that you can't get through, that you feel like you can't go on, know that you can. Your identity lies beyond that. Your identity is not the experiences you've had. Your identity is at your core. It's in your soul. When I wake up every day, I know who that is. I'm going to be the same person at my core. And it's really chipping away at all the other stuff outside of that to find who that is. And that's our life journey. That is a journey. The chosen one. Yeah. All right. So I don't know if there's any questions or if we want to talk about anything else, but that's, oh, we do have a question. Look at that.
I think that Lisa is reflecting a lot of what you're saying in the chat, and I love to always get every comment up there.
Yeah, I love that.
She also said at one point, there's nothing to worry about near the beginning of what you said. And then this question, I think inspired by you, have you spent your entire life pleasing others?
Right.
And I think connecting with you will help you really help people really expand and heal that aspect. What do you offer for people out in the world, Michelle?
Yeah. So, codependency is a real thing, right? And we don't know it because we were raised, like I said, we were raised that we have to, and I'm not sure if it was more of a female thing, but we were raised to please others. We were raised that, we do as we're told, and we try to make everyone else happy over ourselves. And so what I would implore you to do is to challenge that and to say that it doesn't have to be one way or the other. It can be both. I can still make others happy because I love to make others happy. This is why I coach and I mentor people. We want to make ourselves happy first, and then we can give to others, right? We can fill their cup once ours is full. And we've heard this analogy many, many times. So what I would say is that if it feels good for you to do something, if it feels good for you to help others, if it feels good for you to do something that, you may not want to do, but you feel like it will make you feel good, then do it. But if it comes from a place of obligation, guilt, these are all, emotions that are not going to help us raise our vibration and get the results we want. So we only should be doing things, and you can do it in a nice way. You can do it in a nice way where you say, no, thank you. I appreciate the offer. However, I'm not going to accept on that today. And it can be gentle and it can be forgiving. And this is another thing, right? We have to forgive others. We have to forgive ourselves to be able to live in that space of that I'm only going to do the things that make me feel good. And so that's where I would, that's where I can help people. I can help people see that they are worthy of this. They have the full potential in them to be able to do the same. I'm there now. I wasn't there several years ago, but I'm there now, and I can help people get there. And hopefully by reading my story, it will inspire people to think about that for themselves.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And Lisa saying forgiveness is so key. That's something I talk about in my chapter 2, forgiveness, even after someone has passed on. And just thank you so much for sharing your beautiful self. Connect with Michelle. You can find her. She's make sure that if you can, Michelle, put your information in the comments on the Circle of One Facebook. And also if you buy the book, then you can see information, all of her amazing information to connect with her there. And you can find out how to buy the book at circleoftheone.com. I'll put that up on the screen. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
So go ahead and I'm going to take you off the stream. Go ahead and go to circleoftheone.com. I'm going to go ahead and put that up on the screen now. If you have not already gotten Circle of the One as an ebook, which is how we're offering it at this time, more things will come down the line in divine time, then please go ahead and head out that way. It's all the links for all the countries are found there at circleoftheone.com. And it's an amazing website that many of our team with Troy Chadwick leading the way put together. So big thanks to everyone. We're going to actually have Trey Don come on now. He is amazing. He actually was the midwife, or whatever, the male version of the midwife of the logo of the essence in the front of the book. There's a really cool video he put together showing all the iterations it took to get to that logo, which then myself and Troy Chadwick added and iterated. So it was truly like a team effort to create that logo, which Treda and I were talking about, almost has like its own essence, its own beingness. So Treda, floor is yours.
Wealth and prosperity creators. It's amazing to be in this space, to be with you in this moment, and to let you know that anything is possible. And with that, I want to read a little bit of my chapter and really go into why I know that anything is possible. And so it's chapter 28. And my being is of world crafting. And so what I do is I help individuals be able to learn how they can craft their world, how you can be within your truest embodiment by being able to use one of the tools I love, which is writing. And we're going to go into that. It's my chapter. So I'm going to read it now. Writing began as my main tool for world crafting. Nameless would remind me of the world I wanted to create, constantly telling me, calm your heart and you'll know me. I realized that to know nameless is to know yourself. It meant listening to my desires of who I wanted to be and the world I wanted to live in. My emotions would often heighten in excitement at the new characters and realms I would create. Little did I know that the intense emotions and putting pen to paper would manifest these words, these worlds into my reality. This was tested within my pit of depression, periods where poetry and journaling were my claws out of its depths. My words of intensity were the manifestors of realms realized within the physical. So I want to go into this for a moment with you. I mentioned nameless. And what nameless is the ability to live your life without labels, without the attachment to things that aren't you. You're not your body. You're not your accomplishments. These are things that you have. These are things that are a part of your story, but they are not the essence of who you are. You are nameless. And so when I mention nameless, that is the embodiment of detachment and love, of being able to craft the world that you desire without having expectations or attachments to how that world will start to flow. And when you go within yourself and realize what it is that you are supposed to create, that world just flows to and through you. This project, this realm that was created called the circle, the one that has already been here, it was already in the ethers, but it's manifested here. It was the result of being able to take an idea, take a world in the unseen and bring it to the scene by being able to allow it to flow to and through you. A lot of time we allow emotions like guilt, worry, and all these things to stop the flow of the thing that we are to bring to existence. We get whispers from God called inspiration that comes through like a stream and comes onto this world. And sometimes we aren't good channels because we get clogged sometimes. And what I want to remind you is when you go back to being nameless, when you go back to the essence of what a child does, which is, oh, that's wonderful. Oh, this is amazing. And within a state of curiosity, that in that moment, in that state, you become a world crafter. You become the essence of wonder. And you bring worlds into existence. And that's what I wanted to share with you today, of what my chapter is about and what I do.
Wow. I'm always so touched, moved, and inspired, and I know everyone feels the same trade on, because you're truly, unabashedly, that's what I love about you, is that you're not bringing any like any apologeticness around who you are and the bigness of who you are. So thank you for being that.
I appreciate that.
Yes. And Lisa says here, you are not your body, you are not your name, you are nameless. Wow, lean into Trade on Rogers' awareness. Absolutely. And we had people commenting during the stream. I think a person that you know, absolutely beautiful artwork, they said to you.
Appreciate that, Savage.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Savage. Congrats on bestseller. Thank you. And I love how Lisa put it. You really helped create the essence of that Circle of the One logo. And they say, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. And the cover is the essence it brings forth, just like our names or our faces. That is the face of the book. So thank you so much. And I love what Michelle with the hashtag nameless. Can you quickly explain? Because I actually just recently understood, I think, for myself, nameless is an aspect of you. Can you say more about that?
So nameless, and I'll talk about it a little bit in the book. Nameless was the being that came to me within a dream state, and I didn't quite understand what was going on or what that encounter meant. And so over the course of my life, I peek into what that means. And one of the things that I came to is that nameless is the embodiment of detachment and love, being able to walk through life not attached to outcomes or expectations, but being able to be your own individual self, your own individuality, which in a lot of ways cannot be named. And there are so many amazing people like Carl Jung and psychologists that talks about this process of integrating all the aspects of yourself and being everything. And even Joe talks about this with the essence of what 5D is. When you get past the speed of light, you get into the state of 4 dimensions, which is being no space, no time, no thing, which is nameless. And then you go to the next level, which is 5D, which is now you are everything, anything, and anywhere. And that's the essence of what nameless is that energy of being nothing and being everything.
Everything and nothing all at once, both and. Thank you so much. I'm sure that as we have time at the end, after all the authors that desire to go, we'll have you come back around, because earlier in our author connection, he was doing some amazing word and channeling magic that we may have come back around at the second half of this. So thank you so much, Traydon.
Appreciative of being here.
Yes, thank you. We're going to have the amazing John come up. I saw that John actually said hi to a friend who must be watching, Aaron Koksur. I love that name because I wonder if it's from the Turkish heritage, because I'm Turkish. It sounds Turkish, and I speak Turkish myself. So Aaron, if you're still listening, let me know if that's a Turkish name or maybe something else. John, how are you?
Outstanding. How are you doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm feeling lit up and inspired by everyone here. And John, I'm just always so moved, touched, and inspired by you as well. And I showed your avatar art to my husband on the drive home yesterday. We were traveling and I was showing him the book. And he's like, that guy looks like a guy from Mortal Kombat. He's like really badass. I'm like, yes, I'm going to tell John you said that. As I don't know which character he's talking about by name, but I think I can think of that Mortal Kombat character. So John is amazing. He and I have Lisa here helping in the back. She has your chapter up right here, your name. So I'm going to hand it right off to you now. Go ahead, John.
Hi, everybody. Renee, just so you know, I'm going to read the first paragraph of my story, but I'm going to talk about what we talked about earlier in our private meeting, because I think it's kind of relevant. So my chapter is called No One Dies Alone. And it starts off like this. John Edward said that when a baby is born, it is the most traumatic experience of that baby's life. But there are people on the other side, here, waiting and happily anticipating that child's arrival. When we die, there will be family and friends on the other side waiting to greet us again. Now, as we were talking about earlier, when we are a member of a group or a club, it means we belong to that group or that club. And we are all members of the human race, and we are all members of the spiritual world. But sometimes we forget. Many of us do. And that is why the word remember was created. It's what happens after you forget. You remember. You come home. You come full circle. And that's really for me, that's the essence of the circle of the one. Coming home, remembering. Every moment is a moment of rebirth. Every moment, every experience is an opportunity for you to start over again and wipe the slate clean, because what the sentence that I just said is in the past. It's gone. It's never coming back. You have and the future isn't set in stone yet. All you have is right now. And every right now is an opportunity for you to turn everything around. And you can go back into the experiences in your life where you struggled and didn't know how you were going to make it, but you did. You survived. So if you're going through something now, and we're all always going through something now, you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. No one dies alone means that there's always somebody or something on the other side of the challenge you're going through now. And it helps you to grow. It helps you become the next best version of you. And that's who you want to be, the next best version of you. One of my favorite people, I'm not going to say mentor because I never had a chance to meet him. He passed away before I had a chance to meet him, was Bob Proctor. And he gave the analogy of a hot air balloon, and how a hot air balloon, what it wants to do is rise, but there's ropes holding it down. That spiritual part of you wants to rise, but there's ropes holding it down. I'm not good enough. I can't. I hate you. I'll never forgive you. I'm not good enough. I'll never have this, that, or the other thing. You're the only person that can cut those ropes. Those are the ropes that are holding you down. That's that deep, dark place inside of each one of us where we hold our shame, our guilt, our fear, our regret, our resentment, all of that stuff. On the other side of that is the person that God created in his image, who is worthy. That's the person that's the person that I want to find. And I think at the end of the day, really, all of us want to find that person, the one that is worthy. The only reason we're not is because we believe we're not. We were taught to believe we're not, but we are. We are worthy. And when you believe it, when you find that part of you, the part of you that God created, source, energy, universe, call it what you want. When you find that part of you, that's where the miracles occur. That's when miracles happen. Doe, you still with me?
I am. The miracle is that words come back around again. We had a Marlene listening earlier said miracles invoke the meditation. Love, Erin just sent a beautiful heart emoji there. And as Lisa said, you can find John's story on our book that is available for purchase now. And it's available. You can find the link to the Amazon page for all countries, circleoftheone.com. And I love that John's story is there for you to help come home to yourself, find and remind. I love Tradon with his rhymes. And Shantae bring in that acknowledging you, the prayer energy.
Hey, Shantae. Remember is the key. Remember, because you are a member of that spiritual world. You are part of that. You are part of the human race. Remember. After you forget, you remember. You come back home. So come home. Get this book, learn how to come home.
Yes, thank you so much, John.
Thank you.
We're going to have the amazing Jamal come on next. Thank you, John. Jamal Mitchell, he is a game genie, super awesome being. And I just want to acknowledge some comments as we switch over to Jamal that I haven't put up on the screen. Catherine saying, yes, we're all one. Michelle, yes, I love all your souls. I love your soul. And we also had earlier, just to re-acknowledge what some people said before John spoke, we had Savage Moon, who's listening with us now, just sharing that this is all such an inspiration. I also referring to Trade On. And so I always love to make sure I get every comment on the screen. So please do share your comments, words, aspirations, things you're creating. If this is something that you're resonating with, then you're going to love our book. So now we've got the amazing Jamal Mitchell. I'm going to hand it right off to you. Go right ahead. Hold on one sec. I had you muted, I think. Now go ahead and start. Now we can hear you.
All right. Am I supposed to go directly into my chapter or?
It's up to you. Fill the flow. You can share a bit first about yourself so we can get related to you. And then if you'd like to share part of your chapter and any of your teaching and wisdoms about your Wonder course, anything, really, everything's fair game here to share and also to promote anything else you're up to.
Okay, cool, man. Sounds good to me. Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on. It's an absolute honor and privilege to be here to share time and space with each and every one of you individuals that are in support of this amazing project that took over 8 months to create and was truly a mastermind of a bunch of different individuals from all walks of life. And my name is Jamal Mitchell. I am a personal professional development coach, Napoleon Hill founding member, and soon to be master coach. And I help people, organizations, nonprofits, and businesses increase the performance in their career and their personal lives. And I am the game genie, and I'm going to get into my chapter. This is my particular, the character. So if you see the brother with the glasses on and the shades, that's me. And then I'm going to read my oracle card first. And it says that the game genie spirit helps you find purpose, develops talents, and embrace freedom. You shape your story, create your identity, and control your future. The true battle is within yourself, and you're holding the reins of your mind like a remote control. And one of the things that I truly believe is that life is a video game, and your mind is in your hands, and you're holding the remote control. So you are navigating the world as you see fit, because you have the one superpower that we all possess, and that's the power to take possession of your mind and direct it to whatever ends that you desire. So make sure that you begin to control your thoughts or learn or find somebody that can help you with that. And without any further ado, I'm going to get into my chapter. It's chapter 19, and the title of my chapter is Life Starring You. And 10 years ago, my self-image, mindset, and belief system were in complete disarray. Within the span of a few days, my girlfriend of 5 years left me. An intruder broke into my home and stole over $15,000 worth of my studio equipment, and I was fired from my highest earning job shortly after selling a $250,000 contract. It felt like I was playing the same game, stuck on the same level, and dealing with the same boss. Life seemed impossible, and I was ready to quit, and I was thinking about pulling the plug. And what I want you to do now is I want you to open the door to my 3-level loft and smell the stench of the pit bull urine and feces covering the unfinished basement floor. Walk up 1 step and take 6 steps forward as you head into the foyer, and hang a left to enter the modern kitchen nook. Look at the beautiful stainless steel appliances, white cabinetry, and glass-top stove, covered with dishes piled to the ceiling, and forks, knives, and spoons that still wouldn't come clean, even if you put them in the dishwasher. Now walk cautiously over the beautiful bamboo hardwood floor, covered with magazines, books, socks, clothes, leftover carryout boxes, and red box DVDs. Now continue ahead and you'll find me, slumped over an all-white worn pleather sectional, doing a little bootsy wipe me down, getting the crumbs off of my shoulders, chest, pants, and shoes. And in the midst of this deep, dark depression that no one was aware of, I received a phone call that changed my life. It was from the most angelic voice known to man, my mama. She said, "Jamal, baby, I'm aware that my brother is bipolar, and I know that my niece is too. But do you believe it's possible that it could be true for you?" I paused for a moment, and I replied, "Yes, ma'am, I do." Then she asked me, "Would you be willing to take a test to find out if you are? Because your father and I don't feel like we're in a position to be able to help you. And that doesn't make me feel good." That was the worst thing that my mother ever said to me. That she and my father felt like they were in a position and didn't have the tools to help me. And this was a defining moment for me. I became indignant and instantly made up my mind. I said, there has got to be a better way to play. And suddenly, a memory from my childhood flashed before my eyes. I found myself in my childhood home, 523 Aladar Drive, O'Fallon, Illinois, 62269. The red brick house with the maroon shutters, the perfectly angled grass, the Steve Harvey lining, and shrubs that looked like they were manicured by Edward Scissorhands himself. I opened the front glass door, took off my shoes, and placed them on the shoe rack, and headed straight past the sitting room with the cream Victorian-style furniture, dark pink coffee table, and mauve carpet on my left. I walked on the beautiful maroon throw rug with the cream rectangle accents, past the dining room with the black dining room set and matching china display cabinet on my right. Once I reached the kitchen with the mauve countertops, I hung a right and I headed down the gray basement stairs and entered the playroom at the bottom of the steps on the left. I could see the framed 1991, 1992, 1993, back to back to back Chicago Bulls championships and Dream Team posters covering the walls. My mid-sized color TV was sitting on top of a brown entertainment system with two cabinet doors paired with the old school 5-disc Sony surround sound system connected to a Sega Genesis. I was locked in, sitting upright and playing my favorite game, Sonic the Hedgehog. I was flying through all the levels, collecting all the coins and whooping all the opponents. But when I got to that final Sky Zone level, Dr. Robotnik would beat the brakes off of me. He would take all of my coins, lives, and confidence. I'd restart the game, only to find myself repeating this process time and time again. The definition of insanity. The cartridge would get so hot, I'd have to remove it and put it in the freezer for 10 to 15 minutes to let it cool off. Eventually, I got so frustrated that I threw the controller and bang! The brown cabinet door flung open. They revealed something that had been sitting there all along, just waiting to be used. It was the Game Genie. It contained infinite access to unused assets and functions. A better way to play. Invulnerability, unlimited ammo, and level skipping. From that moment forward, I saw life as a video game, one full of infinite levels. Each level has a different boss, and each boss requires a different strategy. And I was equipped with infinite strategies. You see, a video game electronically manipulates images produced by a computer program to be displayed on the screen. My mind acted as a computer that processed the instructions sent from my thoughts which created feelings. My feelings inspired actions, and my actions produced results that were displayed in my life in real time. A level is a section or portion of the game. And most games are so large that they're broken up into multiple levels. So only one portion of the game needs to load at a time. In order to advance to the next level, I had to meet a specific goal or perform a specific task. And at the end of each level, I faced powerful bosses, and winning required a greater knowledge of the game mechanics. Sometimes bosses were very hard or even impossible to defeat. So I used cheat codes to help me manipulate and modify the game data. Bob Proctor said that change is inevitable, but personal growth is a choice. This means if you want the game to change, then you have to choose to improve, because it's life starring you. I was the game genie. I granted myself access to unused assets and functions. I had the power to create. I was the writer, director, producer, the actor, etc. I could do, be, or have whatever my heart desired. For the first time in my life, I was aware that my mind was in my hands and I was holding the remote control. So I sat down, sat back, kicked up my feet, relaxed in, put on my headphones, wore my glasses, closed my eyes, and imagined everything I wanted to happen. I took action and started writing the script for my dream life. I visualized it often and I got emotionally involved with it so I could see myself there in real time. I started producing from the storehouse within. I started producing from the storehouse of inventory that God had put inside of me. And I developed the character necessary to fulfill my story. I chose my future. I decided to use the game genie. And I went to the counselor and I took a test that revealed that I was not bipolar, but I was in a severe manic and depressed state of mind. I had experienced some severe levels of trauma which I had suppressed. And over time, that suppression had developed into anger. And with no outlet, the anger eventually grew into rage. After seeing her for several months, I felt good, but I knew that if I could overcome that rage, then I would feel better. I decided to use a different game genie, and I found a cognitive behavioral therapist who looked like me. During our first session, he handed me the dictionary and told me to find the word oner, O-N-E-R. I looked for it, and it wasn't in there. So he instructed me to throw the dictionary into the trash. I was puzzled because he wanted me to throw the entire dictionary away, but I could tell from the look on his face that he was serious. So I followed his orders. He handed me another dictionary and told me to read the definition aloud and write it down. It read oner, O-N-E-R, a remarkable person or thing. He said, that is what you are, Jamal. You are a remarkable person or thing. You're the only person on the planet with the future that's bottled up inside of you. In a matter of seconds, his words transformed my self-image, mindset, and belief system. I saw myself as an asset because I was a person of great value. A couple of months later, he asked me, who are you? I laughed and I replied, you know who I am. I'm Jamal Mitchell. He said, that's not who you are. That's your name. Who are you? I replied, I'm a marketing and advertising sales consultant. He said, that's not who you are. That's your occupation. For the first time in my life, I was at a loss for words. I had no idea. I was 32 years old at the time and I had never been asked a question before. It took me over a month to discover the answer, and it happened right before I entered his office to begin the session that day. Something tapped me on my shoulder and a voice within whispered, you are God's favorite channel for his children. He said, what does that mean? I replied, there are some places I've been going, some substances I've been abusing, and some friends I've been choosing that are no longer a good fit for me. I have been given a unique set of gifts and tools that most people don't have and would be willing to do anything to receive. I had a duty to use them and to help those who were less equipped to reach heights that they can only dream of. I had discovered my purpose and I felt so much better. But I was curious as to how I would feel once I reached my best. I chose to use another game genie, and he was a specialist who identified I had OCD. He changed my perspective on what it was and showed me how to use it to benefit me. I saw it as a gift of accelerated growth, and everything changed. I had the power to choose what I obsessed over, so I became obsessed with becoming God's greatest version of me. What do you believe? Can you see the forest through the trees? Do you believe that you can do the difficult immediately? Do you believe that impossible is possible? It just takes a bit longer. Do you believe that if you use the game genie, that your game could get stronger? Because I do. I believe I'm an eagle with the heart of a lion and the swag of a peacock. And if you can't see the forest through the trees, then you should ascend until you can see it from the treetops. So remember, the next time you are met with a test, never let it rest until your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best. I'm supposed to so that's my chapter. Am I supposed to read the prayer now?
Wow. No, actually, that's perfect. We'll have you complete there. Thank you so much, Jamal. You can find his chapter in Circle of the One, chapter 19. And I'm just so excited to dive into that chapter myself. We also have prayers at the end of our book, so you'll have to get the book yourself if you're watching and don't have it yet to see all that and to experience that. So thank you so much, Jamal, for joining us. Appreciate you so much for being here.
Likewise.
Thank you so much. So I just want to take this moment now to invite all of you, if you do not already have Circle of the One, you can actually get it right now at circleoftheone.com. That'll direct you to Amazon, and you can actually find the book there. And it is something that has already been transforming my life. So I actually want to share with you how to get there, and then we're going to have our next speaker, Robin, come on. And so I'm actually pulling up the link now, and I'll be sharing my screen so you can actually just take a look of how that looks to get there yourself. So here is the amazing website that many people on our team, with Troy Chadwick at the helm, leader of the helm, putting this together. Just truly an amazing, breathtaking website here, as you can see. And as you scroll down, it'll actually invite you to click on the correct country from where you're buying. And like we've said already, we actually became international bestsellers officially yesterday, and we launched on the Sacred 7/7 portal. And so here's the book right here. We've already got tons of ratings and a lot of people already reading it. You can even view a sample and open it up there as well. And you'll just see the amazing work that has been put into this book. And all of the art that you see as part of this, you'll actually get to see in the beginning of everyone's chapter. And I do want to call in that our amazing visionary, Dali Alessandra, is who helped birth this story. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll to her chapter. And on the way there, you'll see the foreword is actually written by Andrea King, who is a family member of Martin Luther King Jr., which is a huge honor. And here's our beautiful Dali Alessandra. She's number one of this book, and she's a goddess of enlightenment, and her story is there called Unleash Your Soul. So I'm really excited. I've just really been inspired by her. She's the one that got us all here today. So just really, really grateful for her. So we're going to go ahead now and move on to our next author. I'm going to first acknowledge some comments we might have in the chat. Yes, up next, we've got Robin McKinney-Tapp. So I'm going to go ahead and pull you up on the screen, Robin. And it's not letting me unmute you because I think you muted yourself. So go ahead and unmute.
I did. I didn't want my sneezes to go over the air. So
right. Perfect. Go ahead, Lisa. I'm going to let you jump right in.
So thanks. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I really appreciate people taking the time and energy to be with us today. This has been such a wonderful experience with an incredible, amazing group of talented and creative people that I've never been a part of such a group before. And I'm just so thrilled that Dolly invited me to be a part of this group. My chapter is entitled "With the Darkness Comes the Dawn," and I'm exploring the concept of trust in life, especially, and in our ability to navigate life. And I'm going to read a short excerpt here from my chapter, and so here we go. Robin just naturally trusted that everything would simply work out for her. She didn't worry when she hadn't won that scholarship. And when it came time to pay the tuition for her first semester, she and her mom scraped together the money and she left for school. It never even crossed her mind to worry about what they would do for the second semester, or for that matter, the rest of the 4 years. She simply knew it would work itself out. Months later, she was notified that she'd been awarded her own 4-year scholarship from ROTC and that it would be retroactive. She was happy, but she also thought to herself, of course I did. Her unconditional trust that things would somehow work out allowed no room for doubt. This seemingly magical time lasted into her first several years of adulthood. She moved to Colorado, found her career and life path, met a man, and married. A few years later, Robin flew back to her hometown in Pennsylvania for a visit. She spent the days talking and laughing, telling stories, playing cards, and drinking beer with her family, just enjoying each other's company. At the end of the visit, Mom drove Robin to the airport, getting there in plenty of time to sit in the small terminal just talking about stuff. Then the announcement came. Boarding Flight 463 to Denver. They continued talking. Robin didn't want it to end. Boarding all seats to Denver, Colorado. Last call. Honey, it's time to go. You don't want to miss your flight, Mom said. As Robin reluctantly stood up, picked up her bags, and started walking toward the gangway, a strong urge suddenly came over her. She decided she wasn't leaving without a hug. Robin had always trusted her feelings, so she dropped her bags, whirled around, and grabbed her mom in the best imitation of a bear hug that she could muster. Mom stiffened. Then just as quickly, she completely relaxed and put her arms around her daughter. I love you, Mom. I love you too, honey. Now go on before you miss your flight. Robin let her go, picked up her bags, and threw a "see you soon" over her shoulder as she floated toward the airplane. 3 weeks later, Robin was attending a party at a friend's house when the phone rang. Her friend said, "Your father-in-law's on the phone. He says there's been an emergency and it's urgent that you call home." Confused and worried, she dialed the familiar number. "Hey, Todd, it's Robin. Is Mom there? Can I talk to her?" "Are you sitting down? You need to sit down." She looked around to find a chair as her friends surrounded her. "I'm afraid there's been a terrible accident. Your mom was killed this morning." Robin's knees buckled, and if it weren't for her friends catching her, she would have hit the floor. In the weeks and months that followed, Robin began to feel as if nothing made sense anymore. All the coping skills that she'd used as a child just didn't work. Nothing could make her forget the circumstances. Nothing she did could soothe her grief. Her mom had been her rudder, her feel-good focal point. Her mom's family tried to take the emotional place where her mother had been, but of course they couldn't live up to the image Robin had of her mother. Mom had been home for Robin. Whenever they had changed cities, Mom was the constant. Robin's main source of love and acceptance. Without her mom, nothing made sense. doubt began to creep in. The reason I chose this passage is I wanted to share that one of my favorite rides in an amusement park is a roller coaster. And what do we do on roller coasters? The very first hill is the hardest to climb, and then you take that death-defying plunge. But it comes out in the end. You keep going up and down, and that's what my story is about. You keep going up and down until it all evens out again. And that's what I wanted to share with my readers, is that when we trust in life, when we trust that there's a purpose to everything we go through, that good can come out of anything, that as horrible as a death of a person that you love, it's amazing what can come out in the end. My life has completely changed from pre-mom's death to post-mom's death, and that can happen with any big major thing we go through, any little thing we go through. And so I wanted to share my story of the deepest, darkest time in my life, to let you know that it's okay. It's okay, and we can come out the other end, and beautiful things can come out of it, things that you may never have ever even dreamed of, much less wished for. And that's my story, is that I want to make sure people understand that life is here for us, not against us. Things happen for us, not to us. And if we can just learn to ride those waves and to call on those people around us for the support when we need it, we can get through anything. We truly can get through anything. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So thank you so much for letting me share this piece of my life with you.
Thank you so much, Robin. I love what Lisa's saying in the chat to reflect you. Discover trust through grief and adversity. Roller coaster rides are amazing. She actually commented that right at 3:33 p.m. Mountain Time. Roller coaster rides are amazing and such a beautiful metaphor. And yes, connect with Robin in her amazing chapter number Sacred 7, which is awesome, to learn more about the power of trust. And Shantae, give in some more acknowledgement energy with those prayer emojis. So thank you so much, Robin, for sharing yourself today. And definitely, if you're touch moved and inspired by her, connect with her and get the book so you can read chapter 7.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate being here today.
Thanks, Robin. We are going to move right along to our next author. She is truly amazing. I got to connect with her earlier today. Hillary, she's on now, and I'm just going to let her take it away. Go right ahead, Hillary. Oh, wait, hold on one sec. I'm not sure why I'm not hearing you. You're unmuted on my end, but I'm not hearing you. While she's doing that, I'm going to share that Hillary joined our project actually within the last month or so. And she is the goddess of empowerment. Chapter 6 of Forge of Empowerment. All right, let's try it now, Hillary. Let's see. You know what you could try? Go ahead and try leaving and coming right back, because for some reason, even though you're unmuted, I'm not hearing you. I'm not sure why. So she's going to leave and come right back. And that is all good, because there's a lot of energies now. So that's just what happens when we're playing with lots of energies. And while she's doing that, I will actually share with you just a little sneak preview of some of the amazing artwork that we actually have that we've created in this book. And so as you saw in the preview of Dolly's chapter, and thank you, Lisa. Yes, I'm so grateful to be granted the gift to hold space today in the Sacred Open Mic. So I received the shout out. Thank you so much. And you'll see that actually in Dolly's chapter, you'll see the art that she has at the beginning of her chapter. So all of the authors actually have this amazing art that will be part of the physical oracle cards that will be coming soon in Divine Time. So you'll see that at the beginning of each chapter with a little description of each of those authors. And then as you move forward, I'm just going to scroll right through. Here, there's a prayer at the end, as well as bios and a way to actually connect to each of the authors. That's what Dolly really envisioned in this project, is that this book is different because you can actually reach out to each of these authors. We've got Troy, who is a huge leader in this project, especially with the art. And you'll see him number 2 here is the God of Providence. So all of those art pieces are actually at the beginning of each chapter. So we're going to go ahead and try this again with Hillary. See if we can hear you now. I don't know if it's just me. I'm still not hearing you. Do you have another device you could try? No? Let's see. Yeah, perhaps. I'm not sure. Another option. She's going to try something, I think. I couldn't hear her. So what we'll go ahead and do is move on. And then what I'm intending we do get her technology to align. So we're going to move on to Lisa, actually. Lisa, you feel down to go ahead and go on now? I'm going to go ahead and pull you up. I think that you are, because I know you've been very active. And thank you so much for that shout out I see in the chat you put for Troy, Tradon, and myself for our artistry and love. Yes, we are so grateful to have this opportunity to be part of this project and have our art show through. So Lisa, she is an amazing leader for humanity, healer, and so much more, and now an international best-selling author along with 32 of us alongside her. So I'm going to hand it right off to Lisa.
Oh, Renee, this is so strange. As I'm watching the Facebook stream from the back end, I'm delayed, so it gives me a moment to recenter. And oh, wow.
I have that, and I have that too, but I think everyone's still hearing us, so there's a little delay.
Oh, good. I just need to give it a moment and not pay attention to that, because the flow and the unity has been powerful and just, it's stunning. Just brief background. I've had the marvelous opportunity to meet Dolly through it started with The Power Voice by Les Brown during COVID. And the journey just started and then began. And the space she holds for seeing the vision you have, the goddess or God within you, it's magnificent. So when the vision of this project came up and she was sharing that, I had no idea what it was going to look like, but I absolutely knew in my heart it was what I wanted to do. And for me, a lot of the healing work I've done has been through faith. And this space has given me the opportunity to heal a relationship with my only daughter and in trust and faith and courage. Caitlin, who God just brings me so much inspiration, we now have a relationship that extends time. It is infinite, it is supportive, it is authentic, and just downright powerful. What I've believed, so I'm going to just read the first paragraph of my chapter, because I really believe this to be true. I know it's true for all of us. It's you can have, do, and be whatever you want. I hold firmly to this belief, and it fills my heart with faith. And this particular journey through life has opened so many doors. And with the power of awareness and dreaming and choosing to be the lead in my movie, I've been able to expand out of a box into a circle. And I really wanted to tap into the power of the title of our book. It's Circle of the One. And when I sincerely feel and tap into the energy of a circle, it is so profound and expansive rather than a box. I mean, I just circles just expand, 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 expand. And boxes are so, this is how I just feel it in my body. So limiting, and then I can explore the limiting beliefs and then bring it into the circle and expand. So I have found so much transcendent, transformative healing through this project that I hold just infinite gratitude for every co-author, for all the individuals behind the scenes. God, the celebration of bringing the artwork to life as you, Tradon, and Troy just pulled it all together. Just huge shout outs. Kathy White for keeping us organized. So to me, this is like an extension of all the individual characters that are in volume 1. And then a huge shout out for the characters that are going to be in volumes 2 and 3, and holding this vision as it becomes a legacy for all humanity. I'm just jazzed about all of this. And finally, I would just love, love, love to honor and give a huge hug and kiss to my daughter, Caitlin Graves. I love you, baby girl. Shoot. Thanks, everyone. Hey, Do Renee, are you there?
There's an energy wave moving through because my StreamYard is now going slow, so I can't click around as fast anymore. But I think that we're still being heard well. We'll see as if people watching the stream let us know if everything's still coming through in normal seeming speed. But I was trying to click to get myself on. It was like going so slow. But I'm just so touched, moved, and inspired by you and what you just. I could feel your energy with your acknowledgement of your daughter, Caitlin, who I've gotten to meet online before as well. And I read your chapter first, actually. I scrolled through and got where I was guided, just kind of like shuffling a deck, and yours came through first. And it really inspires me because I just had a daughter in 2021, and she's about to be 2 later this year. So reading your story really inspired me. Like, I have fear sometimes of like for my son and my daughter, like, oh, all the things that could happen. And I get into that worried mindset. And I'm like, reading your story, I'm like, no matter what, that love will always keep you connected and you can always come back. And so thank you for the story you shared. And if you want to read her story, chapter 12, A Love Letter to My Daughter. She's our goddess of faith. Lisa Reagan, the lighthouse lady. Her daughter, Caitlin, is a big part of her story and what kept her really, it seemed like a lighthouse for yourself and for others, being that light, that beacon.
Right. Oh gosh, Do Renee, lighthouses are meant to guide us, especially to the light, right? And it's during that storm and all the rocky components and roller coaster rides that we experience in life. And when Robin was talking about roller coasters, since I simply love them, it was just yay. And also to remember there is so much joy and can bring fun in. I've also been relearning fun as this healing, transcendent healing's been occurring, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So one thing I wanted to offer that I know that has helped my internet, Do Renee, is to briefly shut off video and then come back. I don't know, as we're working through some technical challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if that brings in a
Yeah.
bit better.
Yeah,
or
those authors who are listening right now on the stream on StreamYard, I'm gonna go ahead and actually move everyone from the studio. So if you're watching through StreamYard, just go to the Facebook page and message me if you don't know how to do that, but you should be able to find it. That may help. And it also just may be the energies that just moving through, putting strain on technology. So thank you so much, Lisa. Marlene sent you a hug, and many
I
others
love
were
her
giving
so
you
much.
acknowledgement. Yes,
She's our
Marlene,
miracle
thank
lady,
you.
Do Renee. She's great.
Marlene Miller, M Energy, bringing in the miracles. Love it. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. All right. I'm going to talk slower as I know that we have, let's see. Oh, I think Hillary had tried another device to try to get on. So if you're hearing me, Hillary, if you're listening on the other live stream, try to hop back on and we'll, oh, is that her right there? Yeah, there's Hillary. So Traydon and John, just to see if it helps, I'm going to go ahead and have you, I'm going to take you out of this stream and then go watch on the Facebook stream just to see if that helps. And Lisa, yeah, go ahead and do the same thing, Lisa, because you can still leave all the comments from there. So go ahead and just go to the Facebook page. We'll just see if that helps us at all. If not, we'll just go with it and talk slow. All right, Hillary. I have Hillary on now. And let's see if your mic works.
Can you hear me this time?
Let's see if I can hear you. Yes,
You
can
still
hear
can't
you.
hear me? You can?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay, great. So I am Hillary Oitzinger-Betson. I'm an attorney, a mediator, and a holistic legal and life coach in Montana. Lisa and I reside in the same community. I was super grateful to be tapped for this opportunity by Lisa. She just thought it'd be a wonderful experience for me and something that I really needed on my healing journey, which was really true. So I was always really, really driven and very successful-ish, I guess you could say. Good grades, lots of schooling, working my butt off, all this stuff. And what I didn't know is that I have complex PTSD. And I had a mental health crisis in 2017 that I thought ended my life and my career. And that is what I wrote about. And the reason I wrote about it, even though mental health is tremendously stigmatized in the legal community, is because I hope to help other people going through similar things. And I believe that my story and the profound impact it had on my life and the amount that I've been able to grow and heal after and through that experience, I believe will help heal others and inspire others. And I have stepped into a role recently where I am sharing this part of myself with my clients and meeting them where they are at from where I am at. And that has been, I think it's been life-changing for me and for them. And people are being drawn to me who need that kind of assistance and healing. And so there's a lot of resonance there. My chapter is called The Forge of Empowerment. And I consider myself the goddess of empowerment for the purposes of the Circle of the One, through insight, knowledge, and compassion. And I'm going to go ahead and read just an excerpt from my chapter. It's a bit raw. I might get a little emotional. So you feel the dress around you. You have no idea what color it was or when this occurred. You pop in and out of the physical world, of your conscious mind, of your hippocampal ability to create memory. You know he came. You know you conveyed your new marital status, and you truly embodied the loon of the loony bin in that moment, only confirming and validating a conclusion he salivated for. She's crazy. She left you because she's crazy. For what? Why, brain? To protect yourself, at least the shreds of self not already immolated on the pyre. Your mind pulling out all the stops, the shock and awe of splintering, the greatest act of self-love possible, the love that can only be expressed by shattering pain and fear into an ever-changing merry-go-round of new realities, a mirrored funhouse of perception, a parade of characters, thoughts, ideas, and new people to be, dissociation, because deep down, your amygdala loves you enough, even if no one else does, to protect you. But you know, deep down, you are still there. You feel the empowerment of joy, of hope, of demystifying this experience. Suddenly, you are determined. Hurt people, help people. You know this is your core. You realize you are there to shatter the glass houses, the sheer prisons of antiquated paradigms that can only be smashed. The splintering is thunderous and stunning. The beliefs, rules, expectations, and servile roles are liberated into glittering shards in the burning light of clarity. Suddenly, you are present. You are powerful. I will not let another woman go through financial and personal debasement. And because of that experience, I have stepped into a role of empowering people going through their legal struggles using insight, knowledge, and compassion in everything that I do. I've created a new arena of legal practice that involves holistic legal coaching, which embraces your entire life, your spiritual circumstances, your support network, your job, your family, whether you're going bankrupt or not. I care about those things because your whole life matters, because your whole heart matters. And that's why I'm here. And that's what my purpose is, and why I'm a part of the Circle of the One.
Wow. Thank you so much. I love Lisa reflecting you, and also sharing in general that each god and goddess in the Circle of the One offers profound healing and love for everyone. I saw Robin Tar Weiss saying that your chapter was amazing. So you look like you've already got someone who's read it.
Thank you.
Lisa saying Hillary in the house. And Marlene as well, who I know is in the community, saying big love to you, Hillary. And then I think Robin did some kind of emoji that I'm not sure came through on this end, but she still sent some love. So thank you so much, Hillary, for being on today and sharing your empowerment energy. Especially, I am acknowledging you for bringing realness to the space of the legal world, because that's huge and it's so needed. And I'm just so grateful that you're doing that. And so we'll go ahead now and move on our set. Thank you so much, Hillary, for being here.
Thank you, everybody.
Wonderful. I am just feeling the energy of everyone. Lisa says Hillary is heart-centered and compassionate, so powerful. And that's someone who's a co-author who is in her community, so she truly knows. And so I am going to do another share here at this time. And then actually I will invite, I believe, Chris Maverick to come on next. So we're actually ahead of time. From what I originally told them. So if you're hearing me, Maverick, then come on to the StreamYard link so we can have you on after I share. I'm going to take a moment to just breathe. Let's all, if you're listening now or in the future, just integrate all the words that have been spoken, the feelings that have been rippled out. Just breathing and really honoring all that is empowering and inspiring in this moment on this planet. And maybe also I am called to bring in honoring all the ways that there are experiences of dissonance and pain and suffering on this planet now, of deep grief and depression, suicidal feelings. I'm just sending out love to all aspects of humanity within ourselves and the collective. Just knowing and trusting we're exactly where we need to be. And now we are here in this moment where we're meant to be. And so I'm called to share something that is not in my chapter. I, again, invite you to go to circleoftheone.com to get the book so you can read my chapter, Why There's a Red Cardinal in My Art. And there's a poem that I read at the beginning of our launch that I'd like to read to you, speak to you. I have it in my mind and heart, so not read, but speak to you from within. And thank you for saying that, Lisa. Breathe and honor, love, love, love. That's why I had to take a pause to breathe, because there's just such powerful energy right now. And I'm even speaking slower, which is one of my commitments in my life right now, is to speak slower, honor all that is, like Lisa says, being present in this moment. So this poem is a combination of a couple of poems. The path that we're on, the poem, first part of the poem is called The Path, and then the second one is Untold History. So thank you so much for receiving this, and here are those creations. Stepping on the path, manifesting heaven on earth. Humanity, it's time to remember our worth. Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, I'm Trinity, hear it. Out of the matrix we break, sick of being fake. That's why I stand up for my people, dropping my fear. Transparent like I'm see-through, the time is near. Shout it out to the nation, peace is my creation. Transformation. Breathe in here and now, I feel free at last. Breathe out, let it go, change the past. Inhale positivity, exhale negativity. The path of healing is paved with creativity. I'm not above you, like some queen or highness. See that we have equivalent flyness. I'm declaring to the people we are equals, and to MLK and Gandhi, we are living sequels. Untold history, it will never rob us of our vitality. Untold history, in spite of the hate, who can we choose to be? They say history was written by those in power, just one way of remembering those fateful hours. Like the Twin Towers, nature's hurricane showers, but still we cower from the truth that's so plain to see, and yet we flee. Maybe because it's so easy. But I'd assert it's ridiculous, ludicrous, preposterous, suspicious. Media's owned by a handful of people, treating us like sheeple while they preach lies from their steeple. No, 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 I say no. What about the history untold? So get ready to unfold that gray matter in your brain while our paradigms we untrain. Untold history, it will never rob us of our vitality. Untold history, in the face of the hate, who do we choose to be? I won't waste my time being pissed at my oppressor. I'm like a lion in a cage, but I won't be the aggressor. I'll bring people together, not just rant about corruption. Of love and peace, I will be a function. Of love and peace, I will be a function. Of love and peace, I will be a function. Of love and peace, we are a function. The issues are complex, but the solutions so simple. 1. Treat Mother Earth like she is a holy temple. 2. Do unto others as you do unto you. And the third one is the hardest. To thyself always be true. Humanity must come together and unite. We can look back at history and choose to make it right. Replace the disastrous timeline with a future that is divine. One where all people and beings of the universes come together as one. The circle of the one. This is the history I will tell my children and my students and my community. We chose to set down our weapons, our opinions, our news feeds, our judgments, our right to be right, and instead choose peace, planting seeds of peace, understanding, and love. And together we will sing. History untold. Join me, remove all your blindfolds. Untold history. We are the creators of our reality. Untold history. In the presence of real love. In the presence of real love. What could humanity be? Aho, namaste, salamat, peace, shanti, shanti. Thank you. So grateful to be here, to be received in sharing words. And now, so that we can move right along, I'd love to hear words and reflections from my poem, from All That Is. We're going to go into our next author, Chris Maverick, as I call him, Maverick, which is a perfect name for him because he's truly one of a kind. So I'm going to go ahead and pull Maverick up on the screen with us and invite him to share about himself, wisdom, any excerpt from his chapter that he'd like to share. The floor is yours, Maverick.
Hello, how are you? So I'm here. There's a I don't know if you. There's like a reboot, right? And it's messing me up. Yeah.
You can hear yourself.
I can, yeah. Weird.
And you don't have any other chats up, or you don't have any other tabs list. You have it open on Facebook.
I closed that. I thought that would help.
You can still hear yourself.
Yeah.
If that's really a challenge, which I know it is, try leaving really quick and coming back. I'll show everyone like the website or just invite, and that may fix it. If not, I'm not sure. why that would be happening. It could be, I don't know if that's mine. If you want to go ahead and just leave this link, close everything and come back. Is it still echoing for you?
Let me see. Yeah.
Still is?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Let me... Why don't you try that really quick, Maverick? Just leave and come back and then see if it fixes it. Yeah, there's definitely some energies moving through because everything is moving a little delayed on my end. But it's still working. We're still here. So Maverick is actually invoking energy as a god of will. He's chapter 13, honoring the darkness, which I'm really inspired by that title personally, especially kind of what I invoked the moment ago with honoring, you know, of course, the joy and the empowerment in the world, but also a lot of the challenging energies that are out there right now within us and the collective. So I'm going to see if it helps if I mute myself. I don't think that's an issue, Maverick, but let's see if it helps. Did that help, Maverick? I don't know if it did. You're still echoing? We can see and hear you.
Oh, no, you can.
We can totally see and hear you.
Okay.
If you just want to try to do it.
I'll do it, but I'll just
Oh wait, now I see you on 2 devices.
Huh?
Is that why you're echoing? Maybe. I have you on here as two people right now.
Okay, maybe. Yeah.
I'm gonna just remove one of them because maybe that's the issue. I don't know if it'll. I think it should be good to remove one of them. It shouldn't mess up the whole thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on my end, the admin side.
Okay. Yeah, because I was looking at all these tabs here. There's nothing else I can see that where sound is emanating from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Now does it not echo anymore? Maybe.
That's good. Awesome.
Okay. You were on here twice. That's what it was. You were on here twice somehow. I don't know how that happened, but now you're good. Awesome. Teamwork and patience and perseverance solves all. So I'm going to now hand it off to Chris Maverick Miller, who is chapter 13, God of Will, honoring the darkness. All right.
Okay. Can you see me? I kind of lost the tab. There's so many tabs I have opened up.
We can see you, so you're good. Yeah. We can totally
Sorry.
see you. You don't need to go back to seeing yourself. You can just keep talking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right on.
Perfect.
Yeah, so my name is Chris. I go by the alias Maverick because I love that character from Top Gun. It was released last year, highest grossing film, 2022. And so, I mean, I just love that story. It's like facing your past, and just in order to kind of, because doing something really scary, things that I have been doing these past, couple of years now, and I have a kind of a dark story, but with darkness comes the light, just like the yin yang symbol with the the dark and the light. And so I'm going to read these particular two particular paragraphs. It's the two kind of in the middle, and then the last remaining paragraphs, just to kind of show you that that when we are in dark places, that is not our constant. That is not how the story ends. It does continue. So, all right, here we go. While at rehab, I developed bronchitis. It hurt to cough and even breathe, but I kept smoking despite knowing how bad it was. I was so angry and disappointed in the way my life had turned out that I couldn't muster up enough desire or willpower to stop smoking, or at least cut down. Ironically, I have learned since that time that getting sick to that degree is something that stems from having so much anger built up that I can no longer speak. My throat chakra was completely blocked due to repressing my truth for my entire life. My body showed me in the form of illness the necessity to change. One of the assignments while in rehab was to write our story, explaining what had led us to drugs. Though initially resistant, once I began writing about my life trauma, I went full in. Like the message conveyed in the Friday the 13th films, I came to realize that if we do not face our childhood traumas and the things we detest about ourselves, they will continue to haunt us. Similar to that of horror villain Jason Voorhees, those unhealed wounds will reanimate repeatedly throughout our life and seem like they are quite literally trying to kill us. That is, until we face them head on and deal with them. So just to kind of elaborate on that, I mean, I don't take much stock in horror movies much anymore. Just kind of like what I have learned about them, because they don't just make these movies just for no reason. There's a lot of time and energy that goes into it. It's not just about that, you know. So this writing this story has been so like healing. Just learning. I didn't even know that before writing this book. I thought about it with Michael Myers, but I was trying to like, you know, what was Jason trying to tell us? You know what I mean? Because like I watched a lot of horror films because, you know, art reflects life and vice versa. So that's what I kind of was gravitating towards when I was younger. Before I was able to, you know, legally able to, you know, age appropriate for watching those films. I mean, if anyone here has seen any of those films, you notice the people who always get chopped up are the people who are either just, you know, doing too much of this, you know, smoking, drinking, having promiscuous sex, and the you know, I mean, those perceived deaths that could be perceived as like, oh, you had a heart attack because you pushed all that stuff down for too long, you know, or, you know, just. I mean, this is what I've been thinking about, you know, what you call it, or like somebody who is driving drunk and ends up losing their license, or even killing somebody or themselves, you know, and that's what repressing and not dealing with the just kind of ignoring the skeletons, let them stink up the closet, you know what I mean? And so I got to this turning point. It's translated in my chapter quite well, I think. But I got to this turning point. I think I'll read this particular paragraph as well. Flash forward a few years later, and following being honorably discharged from the Army, I was sitting in an IHOP at about 3 a.m. after a night of drinking with a friend and his one-night stand for the night. I mentioned I was longing to have a girlfriend, but what this young lady said to me, what this young lady gave me said something. I mentioned. Let me see. I'm trying to go too fast here. I mentioned I was longing to have a girlfriend, but what this young lady said gave me something to think about. She suggested not pursuing a relationship at all, and instead to work on me to get to know myself better, not just the light but the dark too. This is where my life began to change for the better, and so I mean that has been considerably difficult because I've essentially been single since like 2014, going on a decade now. But I mean, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't know much of the knowledge and be as enlightened as I am, and have been able to kind of like look back as opposed to just say I didn't divorce my son's mother. It's everything's necessary, just despite how chaotic and how, you know, the perceived bad. You know, it's like I remember hearing this quote. I forget the guy's name, Lance something. I don't know, but he says something to the effect: chaos and order are the same thing. It's just our minds are programmed to kind of look at the chaos and just like just kind of like notice that stuff, which is translated in a lot of the self-development stuff now. You just don't look at what has currently transpired, or just at least see the good in it. Power perception. And let me see here. Now, I read the last. Yeah, here's the last couple, like 2 pages or so. Times of crises breed miraculous advances. The Chinese define the word crisis as meaning both danger and opportunity. In other words, we always get a choice in how we perceive the reality in which we are presented. Now that I am the warrior that I only dreamed I would become as a child, things are different. As difficult as it was throughout much of it, I look back and, like Steve Jobs once said, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. Things don't quite make sense when you are going through the storms of life. But when you hang in there long enough, you begin to see how the dots line up. A profound quote from Robert Collier's book, The Secret of the Ages, sums up my story. It is the difficult things in life that develop our mental and moral muscle, that build up courage and stamina. My ability to look at myself and own all my mistakes, where I am in life, childhood traumas, my flaws and insecurities, all of it, many of them that I'm still working through, is something that takes time, patience, and faith. Now when I look in the mirror, I'm proud of the man that stares back at me, because I know that whatever happened had a purpose. It happened so that I could share my truth with the world and help them find their inner will and strength. Investing in myself helped me grow and trust the process. I think I can. I believe I can. I know I can. And so can you. So, I mean,
Wow. Thanks, Maverick. I think of the train that says, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can.
oh, yeah.
I can't remember.
Right.
Yeah, there's a little kid's book. That's what I think of. But yeah, like we talked about the metaphor of the roller coaster earlier too. So it's kind of a similar energy of like, you have to build up to it first, like going up that hill, or I think of going up a hill on a bike and having to shift your gears and you're going super slow. But then once you reach that top, like you've got it. And I loved everything you shared. And I've read your chapter, and just the realness that you get into, especially with what you share about, it's actually very, very timely, because I just want to put a shout out now for a film that is actually breaking the ticket boxes, whatever you want to call it. The Sound of Freedom is out right now. In fact, I'm going to go see it tonight. If you haven't heard of it, it's an amazing movie that is bringing awareness to child trafficking and creating the possibility through the energy it's creating through the film and the awareness to create a reality where we're full of love and healing. And so basically the absence of anything that would cause, the acts that are created with trafficking. And so I know that in Maverick's story, he talks about the abuse that he is now healing and healed from. I think it's always a continual process. And I just acknowledge you, Maverick, for being willing to bring that realness so that others who have gone through what you did can find empowerment.
Thank you. Yeah. What you call it? Lose my train of thought here. It was difficult at times to write the story, but I mean, like, just how empowered I feel now with where I am currently, and just what else is to come. That facing the fears is the only way to do it. I mean, I was so, looking back on how going through school and like just looking at the person. When you look back on the dots, it's one of the most powerful quotes. What Steve Jobs says, like you just looking back at like the old person of you. That's the older version. It's like an incentive to keep going. I'll look back on this and realize how much growth I've made, like in 5 or 10 years. Be like, okay, yeah, that person now here, this person is no longer. It's just we keep climbing this the staircase. And just momentum. And that if I can describe law of attraction in one word, it's momentum. That's how Esther Hicks translates it. Abraham. That's what it is.
Absolutely. There's so much love being sent to you and appreciation in the chat. Robin saying you're very brave, Chris. Lisa reflecting you, we get to choose our perception of reality. Yashika, one of our brave leaders here, saying thank you, Chris Maverick. Robin talking about The Little Train That Could is one of our favorite childhood stories. Hillary mentioning big love to all. And also earlier, Lisa said that honoring her darkness has been vital to her healing. So it seems like a really common theme across us all. Any other words you'd like to share before we close your set, Maverick?
Go see Sound of Freedom. That movie, I saw that the theater was packed. I'm surprised how packed it was. And yeah, that film has been censored for some time. Jim Caviezel actually, there's a like 5-minute message towards the end, and that's what Jurassic Park is trying to tell us. I'll try and be quick about this. A lot of truth that's going to come down the pike. Much of it we're not going to like being chased by a velociraptor. It's going to hurt. It might. If we're not ready for it, that's why it's good to keep our mind open for everything, regardless of what we think we know. Jurassic Park, it starts off as just a couple of people looking for truth. Then it eventually, in this newer one, it encompasses the whole world, and we're gonna have to deal with it. So that's just kind of how I have been. That's what I've been kind of preparing myself for, like just slow pill, red pill myself, just like a slow dose over time. So, yeah.
I love that you're bringing that up. I never thought of Jurassic World and the symbology with that, but you just like ignited something in me because it's one of my favorite movies. My son, who's 4, loves dinosaurs, so we watch little clips of it. He's not quite ready to watch the whole thing yet, but that is so amazing that you just brought that. And then I just put in the comments here and up on the screen that Sound of Freedom is now in theaters for a limited time, and it's very important as part of this conversation because an old me would say, oh, well, I don't know if I want to bring that up in this space, keep the spaces separate. Don't want to bring up a film that's about creating a world free of child trafficking, but also by showing what it's really doing to our consciousness and our collective through the movie as a vehicle to create that more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. And so old me would be afraid to bring that up in this space. And I just brought it up because I have read your chapter, Maverick, and you are boldly and bravely talking about the abuse that you went through and that you're now being brave enough to share about and show how you have overcome. And so this movie, I'm actually going to see it tonight with my husband. I know it's in theaters for a limited time. And like Maverick said, it has kind of been censored for a while for various reasons. And so now I feel the collective consciousness is ready to receive that. Like you said, the theater was packed. And so, yes, like Lisa says, shining a light on the darkness of child trafficking. And this whole book, not that topic specifically isn't necessarily brought up a lot, but the concept of bringing light to the darkness is. So it's all part of that same umbrella. So thank you so much, Maverick, for being so real and being the person that you are, the eagle warrior that you are, as the eagle shining behind you. Yeah. And so I'll go ahead now. I'm actually going to have Trey Don Inspires come back on again. Thank you so much, Maverick. I'm going to have you come off the stream now. And Trey Don will be sharing. He's just so good at sharing whatever comes through organically. So I'm just honoring whatever comes through for him. He did some amazing poetry / channeling earlier in our author connection session we had before this open mic. And then I'll close this out close to 4:44 p.m. Mountain Time. So Trade On Inspires. All the floor is yours. Oh wait, now I can't hear you. I wonder if it's something.
It's me.
Okay, good. I'm like, I wonder if it's not my computer. Okay, good. You're good now.
Yeah. Okay. Greatness is your birthright. Mediocrity is your choice. Greatness is your birthright. Mediocrity is your choice. You have the choice to embody, to exude your greatness. You have the choice to give it 50% or 70% or 200%, because there's no such thing as percentages anyway. You have the choice to be the voice of your greatness. I wrote something down earlier because we were celebrating this win, being international bestsellers. And what I had wrote down is to celebrate, is to sales embrace. Let me say that again. To celebrate is a sales, your sales in your body, embrace. That's what you do when you celebrate. You embrace yourselves, you embrace them with the newness of what is coming through for you. So every single day is a celebration, a sales embrace. And the moment let you be within a constant celebration of the world that is manifesting for you, your life will be wonderful. Celebrating, as I said earlier, the surprises that the universe has for you, for your story. Because life is a story. If you follow me, I leave something within a lot of some of my posts. And I don't really say months anymore. Months are chapters. Weeks are sections. Days are pages. Years are sagas and arcs. We are living within a story within a story. When you realize your life is a story and you're going through your low period, you realize that a good story has a low period, and then boom, something happens. You read the book, you're like, whoa, I didn't know that was going to happen. You are a character within your story and a character of the cosmic story. You are the narrative builder of your reality. And the moment you embrace yourselves with that, mapping that in your body, that you are living a story, you are remembering that you are a member of this humanhood that is life, because life is a learning institution for earthlings. LIFE, living institution for earthlings. Or you can change that word out and you can put Etherians, because I believe we're all Etherians. Ether beings of the ether. And the moment you sit with this, you sit with that realization that hits you when you experience it, not when you intellectually know it, when you experience it here with your body. That's when it becomes a truth. When you experience it, when it hits you, when you feel your cells embraced with it, when you get a taste of it. That is the essence of what it is to be here, grounded in this existence, grounded on earth, and you switch around the word earth and you get heart. So grounded in your heart. And what does the word heart have in it? It has the word art. Because you are a masterpiece. You are the artist of your reality. You are infinite within your infinite possibility of your reality, personal reality, within the bigger cosmic reality. And it starts with your mentality. how you hold space in your mind and you find yourself within God's design. You are a living sign for yourself and for others. We are signs for each other, divine within alignment, living within our story time, within our timeline that is infinite in design, infinite possibilities, and how the story can go and how it can flow, because the word flow has the word low in it, because you have to get low to flow, to play, which has the word lay in it, because you lay within the the play, within the peace, which has the word ease in it, because you are easing into your existence, easy within your persistence. Nothing in the distance, it's here. Everything can be clear when you build your reality, and you know the world that you are building, because the word world is word with an L in it, which the L is love. So when you use your words with love, you build your world. This is the essence of world crafting. This is the circle within one, the circle that is the 8, the figure 8, that is the snake that eats its tail, that is the snake that goes from heaven to hell, or heaven to heal. Heal, heart, head, then. You are a beautiful embodiment within this 7. Peace, everybody, and be love. Be the waters below and the waters above. Fly like a dove, because the word evolution has the word love in it. So to evolve, you have to be in the E of love, energy of love, the E motion of love. You do that, life will be so easy, just like the words coming from my mouth. I didn't plan this. This is unscripted. I'm being channeled, channeling it through to you, to I. Words so true. Sky so blue. Everything I say is a clue to you. Circle of the one, a full circle.
Oh, aho, ashe, ashe. Thank you so much. We were all just reflecting so much of what you said in the chat. Evolution, revolution, it has love. World crafting, word plus L, love is world. Just so much peace and ease. That really felt good in my body. Being signs for each other. Everything I say to you is a clue to you. Thank you so much, Tradon, for always sharing your love. And I'm going to actually keep you on as we actually close full circle with getting to honor the fact, again, that Tradon helped to birth this beautiful symbol that we have, this symbol that we were discussing almost has a life of its own, this beingness of its own, with the yin-yang energy and so much with the divine feminine, divine masculine energies of balance. There's the pink and the blue, and then in the middle here too, you see the white, which is like that divine neutrality. And again, big shout out to Troy Chadwick, who put together this beautiful website for us. I'm actually going to show you this website where you can actually get all the links to purchase the book at circleoftheone.com. And you can also learn more by entering information below. And even that's a great way to stay connected with us if you're interested in feeling a calling to even apply to be considered for future volumes. And then as you scroll down, you'll see the beautiful art, 33 stories from 33 authors. And Troy Chadwick really took the lead in making these final designs. I also assisted with the iteration of the art before this. And you see, I'm just going to actually name all the authors now. And I know that Tradon will help me in sending and beaming out the energy and with his energy work that he does as we call in their names. So Dolly Alessandra, goddess of enlightenment. Troy, god of providence. John, the god of rebirth.
Yes.
I just switched to first names now. Ingra, the goddess of wisdom. Dr. Garrett, the god of valor. Hillary, goddess of empowerment. Robin, the goddess of trust. Caroline, goddess of reflection. Debbie, goddess of mercy. Matthew, the god of perseverance. Del Renee, myself, the goddess of grief, the oracle of grief. Lisa, the goddess of faith. Chris Maverick, the god of will. Harlow, the goddess of love and light. Nicole, the goddess of pride. Moving right along to Brenda Lees, the goddess of redemption. Michelle, the goddess of infinity. Ahmed, the god of Achilles. Jamal, the god invoking his being game genie. Margarita Maggie, invoking being the goddess of self-love. Shantae, the goddess of radiant intuition. Barbara, the goddess of optimism. Fritzner, the god of destiny. Ramon, the god of bravery. Chris, the goddess of courage. Tammy, the goddess of Ananda of love, which means bliss. Brandy, the goddess of healing. Tradon, the god of world crafting. Kathleen, the goddess of breath and stillness. Yashika, goddess of strength. Daniela, goddess of fierce devotion. Courtney, the goddess of transcendence. And of course, one of our fearless leaders, Kathy, goddess of grace. You can already see all this beautiful art right here on our website, circleoftheone.com. Again, where you can sign up for updates, just follow along with us, as well as to be considered to apply for our future volumes. Volume 2 is coming right up later this year into next year. So if you are an inspiring author and you're ready to declare yourself as a leader, declare yourself as one, circle of the one, you can start your journey by getting the book right now as Kindle on Amazon. The links are here on our main website. We've already got an international #1 bestseller in several categories. And I'm just so grateful for the whole team that put this together. And if you do get the book, open it up, scroll through, find the stories that resonate for you, and share it with you if it inspires you. I like how Dolly, our visionary, says it is like a spiritual chicken soup for the soul. And it's so true. So definitely check out the book. We will be having the physical book as well as oracle cards coming soon in divine time. So just on our website, sign up for updates and you can actually find out exactly when that comes out. And we're also looking into possibilities like audiobooks as well. So just stay tuned for that. So I am going to close the sacred space with some short breath work and meditation. We'll be ending on perfect divine time. I see some comments in the chat I'd like to acknowledge. Lisa, infinite connection, infinite energy, infinite oneness. Robin, thank you for being with us. Robin Tarwise, she's been really in here a lot. She's acknowledging Robin McKinney Tapp, one of our authors. I read your chapter just before bed last night and enjoyed it. I couldn't tell you when you were all on, but I could do is send a heart. Okay, she was trying to send some kind of heart on here. And also she would love an autographed copy when the hard copy comes out. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Robin can get you that. That's a thought, is to get a copy that we all send around or all around the world, because we have authors across many countries, to do a copy that's actually signed by all of us. That's a cool thought. Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. Love, light, and
33 signatures.
33 sacred energy signatures. Love you all. Hillary, so much love. Holy fire, beauty, souls, and Robin. So cool. I want everything. All right, Robin, you got it. That would be awesome, huh? Well, cool. We are going to close with some breath work, and I'll trade on assist with sending energy. If you're open to receiving energy, even live or in the future, it is transcendent of time.
For sure.
just energetically put that out there, and Trayvon will send it straight your way, as well as all of us. So I invite us all to take a deep breath in, soften or close the eyes, perhaps rub the hands together, feel the sacred tea in our hands. And let's just take 3 sacred slow breaths in. And as you continue your sacred slow breath, I invite you to consider these words. You are exactly where you need to be.
Exactly where I need to be.
We are the ones we've been waiting for.
We are the ones we've been waiting for.
We are opening the door to the core.
We open the door to the core.
We are one.
We are one.
We are a circle of the one.
We are a circle of the one.
Thank you all so much. I actually see that Caroline just jumped on now. If you're hearing me, Caroline, we were just about to close, but I want to make sure I give you a chance if you are wanting to be a part at all, or if you're just listening, that's wonderful too. Thank you for all the comments in the chat. Yeah, John, it would be so cool to get a copy signed by all of us, and definitely agree it's a great idea. Yashika, beautiful. You're beautiful. Thank you, Yashika. She's one of our amazing leaders. And Caroline, if you are wanting to speak, I'll actually stay on for a bit because I do want to honor the fact that you're here on the StreamYard side. So we'll go ahead and just hang out for a bit and just honor the fact that we are international bestsellers, and knowing also that yes, and also knowing that that title is not so much important as the outcome that's going to be through because of that, because of all the people that are getting it. And so just so grateful. Yes, 444. Yes,
vibration.
Yes.
I just saw that earlier. I left it. Everybody seems
I saw that. Yeah, because you're in Eastern time, or no, you're in Central time.
I'm in Central time.
Yeah, we're all time travelers.
Yeah, 444. You add them together, you get what? What do you get? What do you get? You get 12. You get 3. 3. Beautiful number. The Trinity head, the creative principle. 4 is form. It's the form of things.
What do you think about 33, since we have 33 authors? For me, I know when I see 33, I think of Christ and the Ascended Masters. What is it for you?
So I'll start with what research I've done on 33. We have 33 vertebrae in our back. So if you coil up, I'm saying the 30 vertebrae, you get the snake, you get the circle, the snake that eat his tail. 33, it's also 2 triangles. So, the Jewish symbol got the 2 triangles. 33 is a very, very powerful number. 32, very interesting number. 32 plus 1. 32 is the 32 paths of wisdom that's in the Kabbalah. And then you have the 1, which is the 30, which is the whole of it. So symbolically abundant number, symbolically powerful. And it's not a mistake that this was made with those numbers. Very powerful numbers indeed. Very powerful.
So cool. And I love John saying his birthday is 3/3/1966, which is so cool. Some powerful 369 energy there. And then he's chapter number 3. And
it's alignment. It's alignment. You can tell a lot about a person by their numbers and their name. Sometimes that's really all you need to know the prophecy of an individual. It's interesting how it works.
Well, if you're called to Trayvon's energy and want to learn more about your names and your number energy, definitely connect with him. His information's in the book, and you can also find him all over the feed for this live. So on that note, let's go ahead and close the sacred circle and honor Everything we created today, let it ripple out into collective consciousness on planet Earth and beyond, into cosmos. And peace to everyone watching now or in divine time.
Peace.
Thank you all.